Here are some tips to make sure that your presentation is nice and clean. I have a sample printout. We're pretending that this is my finished artwork, and I have a border around the outside where I want to cut. I have a T-square. This isn't mandatory, but it helps you make sure that things are straight. And I have a nice cutting surface. You certainly don't want to cut on your bed or anything that's going to get damaged. That's pretty obvious. Here's a double-sided or a corkback ruler. So this is nice because then the corkback prevents the ruler from sliding when you're cutting with it. This one is a different corkback ruler, and this protects your hands as you're cutting, so it's really useful for those who haven't used a knife before. You'll notice that both of these rulers are metal, so metal is probably better than wooden because then as you cut down the side, it's not going to cut into the wood and it won't mess it up. Same with plastic, so a metal edge is better. See the metal edge? Okay, you'll also need some sort of a knife. This is a handy knife with a cover on it, although the cover kind of cracks. And I tend to store my blade upside down, so in case this cover fell out, then the likelihood of me cutting myself on the blade is minimized. So to unlock it, you just twist it and pull it out and then flip it around. You always want to start with a sharp blade. It's really dangerous to use a dull blade because if you do cut yourself by mistake, it won't be a clean cut. It'll really be a bad tear, and so that's not good. Here is a box of blades, and you'll notice that I've taped it closed. Here's another handy blade keeper, I guess, and then when you're done with the used blade, you can put it into the slot. To discard your blade, you want to make sure that you tape it up. So you can use whatever masking tape you have. So you would take your used blade and wrap it around. So I'm going to take that out. Take a whole bunch of tape and then just wrap it, especially around that tip. And then I can throw this away. So then it's not going to hurt anyone in case animals or little children get to it. Okay, so now I'm going to put in a brand new blade. Pull it away from you. Stick it into the slot. And tighten it. Okay, I also have, let's see, I have my surface, my T-square, which I actually don't need right now, and my corkback ruler and a sharp blade. So this is what we're going to do, is you position your ruler on the inside of your artwork. That way, in case I happen to slip, I miss the ruler for some reason, then the artwork is not damaged. Place the ruler so that it's covering or protecting the artwork. And then you want to position your blade just inside that left edge of the black line. And I position the ruler so that it touches the blade, and then I shift it so that it's parallel. Okay, then I check the distance, make sure it's perfect, and then I actually position the blade above the line, and I'm going to slice down. And you want to have even pressure as you press this against the ruler. Okay, so I'm going above that black line, and I just slide it down. This is just a sheet of paper, so it should have cut through. Check it, yep, one through. Then I'm going to rotate it. Do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to position the ruler, so position the blade just inside the left edge of that black line. Move the ruler so that it's touching the blade. Shift that ruler over so that the distance between the ruler and the line is the same all the way down. Place my blade above that line, and then I apply steady even pressure and go down. Now you can see the reason why I go past, I start above and I go past the line is so that I have a nice sharp corner. If I started this right at the edge, it's not going to be a nice sharp corner. It's probably going to be rounded, or it may not cut all the way, so then I'll have a little piece of paper left over. Kind of dig in and then go down. So here's a nice clean cutout. Then we can position this on the board so that it's not dead center, but a little bit higher. So mechanical center would be right smack in the middle, like that. But then we want to have a little bit more space on the bottom so it's optically centered. That extra space on the bottom just helps it seem more balanced visually. You can eyeball it or you can measure it, so then you make sure that it's even on both sides. What I like to do is I'll place this here, and I might use painter's tape so that there's no mark on the blackboard, just so that it's in position. So then I'll measure to make sure that it's even. So it's 5/8 across, so it's pretty much centered. And then just to mark that, I will use my blade again, and I'll put like a little tick mark. So maybe one up here and one down here, and I kind of dig in to the board. Do the same thing on this side, pressing in a little bit, pressing in, and maybe I'll do the top too, so then I can, these will be nice guides. Okay, then I can take this off gently so it's not ripping it. And if you have tape that you want to tear away from the artwork, if I tore like this, there's risk of it tearing the paper. So I'm going to tear outward. If I look carefully, I can see these tiny little tick marks, so I'll know where to place this piece of paper after I spray the adhesive on it. So here's a couple different spray adhesives. 3M Super 77 multi-purpose adhesive, Scotch Photo Mount. They're both pretty good, and you don't want to use this indoors. You want to spray it outdoors and then come running in your house and then place it on the mat board. This is black mat board. Notice it's black on both sides. When you purchase it, it'll be 16 by 20, and you want to make sure that you don't fingerprint it. Don't mess it up with your handprints or greasy anything. Hold it on the edges. It's better to keep it stored in a bag until you're ready to use it. If you don't have a bag, just wrap paper around it. It's just regular newsprint because you want the whole surface to be clean. The back side doesn't matter, so you can decide which one you want to be the front. This side has a bunch of scratches on it. Looks like pencil. So I would just allow that to be the back, and then I want the front to be clean. So I'm going to take this artwork outside, and I'm going to spray it, and then I'll come back in the house and attach it to my board. You'll see that the nozzle has all this extra gunk on it. So you want to peel that off so that you have a nice clean spray. So I probably haven't used this can in a long time, so the product might be dried out. So what I would do before I actually spray on my artwork is I would take a sample piece of paper and spray this outside just to test it, make sure that it's not clogged. This one is nice and clean. The instructions are here for a reason. Make sure you read them. Read the caution statements too. You don't want to breathe the vapor that's really poisonous. And that's why you don't want to do it indoors either. You have to do it outside. What I like to do is I take this over the trash can, I open up the lid, and I spray this in an even spray according to the instructions. And I kind of direct the spray past the paper, and I go psh, like that, kind of like a Z. So I'm not spraying directly in the center because again, it could clog right here. I just keep it a little bit far away and I just spray a couple strokes, and then I come running in the house and I'm holding it on the edges, and then I press it down based on where I left those tick marks. And then once it's down there, then you cover it with a sheet of clean paper and you just press it down just to make sure that it's really adhered tightly. You could use the back of your fingernail if you want to press it down some more and just make sure it's really tight. This tool is called a bone roller or something. No, I'm sorry, bone folder? What the heck, I don't know. I call it a burnishing thing, but I can press it down. So again, I'm gonna put a clean sheet of paper on top of the artwork and then I just press that down. Okay, so that way that it does not curl up. It's adhered, it's stuck really well to the blackboard. Now, in case you don't want to use spray, you can also use double stick tape, or there's something called double tack, and it comes in large sheets, and it's basically like a giant sheet of double stick tape. but you wouldn't cover the entire artwork in double stick tape. That's just overkill. But you would do maybe like the corners, like here, here, and then you want to put it as close as you can to the artwork, again, so that the paper doesn't curl up. You want to make sure that everything is tight to the board.